You know, that percussive cadence in marching bands and drum and bugle corps played between songs and parades. Always anchored with the lower bass on 1 and 3. It could lift you and plant you and then move you forward, but always with that syncopated riff from the snares. I can so remember I am 5 or 6 years old, and I love the sound of drums. Love watching them in parades. But I didn't need no parade. I could be sitting on my porch. Boom. Walking to school. It didn't matter what time of year it was, but the closer it got to May, them drums got louder, and louder, and louder, and I'd start marching. I'd be marching around the yard at the house at 1812 Taylor Avenue. That's what my older sister, Wanda, used to always call it. During the 60s, my family moved around a lot, depending on the state of my parents' marriage, whether my mother was pregnant or not, or what run my father had on the railroad that month. Wanda, being the oldest of eventually 5 kids, had participated in many of these moves, and he quickly learned to memorize her addresses. Came in handy when you were lost in a new neighborhood. Even now, when we talk about that time when we were kids, Wanda always says, no, she recites, the house at 1812 Taylor Avenue. My first memories of St. Louis are from that house. Upstairs was Mama Bell, Aunt Callie, and her husband, Uncle Ernest. Now, lots of different family members moved in and out of the house. Quite frankly, the actual living arrangements and who was a little fuzzy to me. I mean, there were family aunts, and then there were church aunts, church sisters, and the occasional uncle this, that, or the other. It was all quite confusing. So I have Wanda to thank for validating or correcting my memories of that time. The rest of this stuff I have just made up. But the backyard at the house on Taylor, I see very clear. The back porch. The long, narrow yard that went to our back fence. Now, our back fence was right at a spot where 2 alleys met. We were right at the top of a T. And from our back porch, you could look straight down one of the alleys to Newstead Boulevard. I remember the alley clearest of all. I remember it as a red paved road to a parade. Mama Bell, you better stay right in the middle of this alley. There's some big old dogs down by Miss Saunders' yard behind the filling station, and they can jump the fence, and one of them killed Silly. Boy, stop that ripping and running. You're gonna scuff them shoes. Ain't no dog killed Silly. Ain't no telling what happened to that child, but that filling station much sure didn't get him. Mama Bell has a shelf booty. Shelf booty. That's what my brother Junior called it. It was like her butt stuck out so far you could place things on it. Books, a plate, radio. And Mama Bell was big. I mean, to me, a 7-year-old, she just looked like this massive mound of floral house coat.